evening, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger, and welcome to our NCAA championship game. So much can be said about North Carolina. They came into this tournament seeded number 1. Georgtown probably was unknown to everyone except the aficionados. They were seeded 4th, but they have been on a rampage throughout the tournament. And when they dismantled Oregon State to win the West Regional, everybody knew that the Hoyas were very much for real. Now, you know, of course, that Dean Smith is trying to win a national championship at North Carolina for the first time. He has come into the title game 3 previous times and lost to UCLA, to Marquette, and a year ago to Indiana. But this is the first time that Dean Smith has ever been favored in a title game by the narrowest of margins. He is matched against John Thompson, a man whom he admires and respects so greatly. 2 high-class gentlemen who tonight will direct the fortunes of Georgetown and North Carolina. And Gary Bender and Billy Packer, come on in here now and tell us about the talent that these 2 coaches will have at their disposal tonight.
Brent, great talent, and that's the reason North Carolina's won 15 in a row, Georgetown 10. Let's take a look at some of the matchups that'll unfold today. First at the guard position, Sleepy Floyd for Georgetown and Jimmy Black for North Carolina. Floyd, the all-time scorer at Georgetown.
Well, Floyd's the guy that likes to put it up both on the outside as well as penetrate. He's got the maturity of the senior as well as Jimmy Black. He's a guy that's been around a long time, very unsung player, both offensively and defensively. His key tonight is to figure out a way to beat Sleepy Floyd in the Georgetown defense to get in a half-court offense for North Carolina. Great backcourt matchup.
Okay, as far as the forward spots are concerned, James Worthy, the consensus All-American for the Tar Heels. But what a fine defensive player Eric Smith is.
Well, here's the unsung hero right here. He has been asked to guard guys like Mark Aguirre and Albert King. He has done it very well. And Eric Smith, you've got one of the fine defensive players in America. And he's going to have to be all of that because right here is the nation's #1 power forward, James Worthy. He loves to take the ball inside, so Smith is going to have a hard time handling it.
Billy, what a matchup at center. Pat Ewing, the 7-footer against Sam Perkins. Perkins was just brilliant in the first game. Ewing, what an intimidating presence he is.
Well, over the past 3 weeks, Pat Ewing has made a name for himself that already was up there among the best centers in the nation. He's a dominating player defensively. The one thing that Perkins may be able to do is to keep him honest. Sam Perkins is a great offensive player and a good defensive player himself. And if he can occupy the great Pat Ewing defense, it really helps Carolina's situation.
Showtime in the Dome, and let's go to Frank Fallon now to meet the starting lineups.
The Georgetown Hoyas and the North Carolina Tar Heels. For Georgetown, at a forward, number 32, a 6'5", 185-pound senior from Potomac, Maryland, Eric Smith. For North Carolina, at a forward, number 44, a 6'8", 210-pound sophomore from East Meadow, New York, Matt Doherty. For Georgetown, at a forward, number 40, a 6'7", 180-pound senior from Washington, D.C., Mike Hancock. For North Carolina, at a forward, number 52, a 6'9", 219-pound junior from Gastonia, North Carolina, James Worthy. For Georgetown, at center, number 33, a 7-foot, 220-pound freshman from Cambridge, Massachusetts, Pat Ewing. For North Carolina at center, number 41, a 6'9", 224-pound sophomore from Latham, New York, Sam Perkins. For Georgetown at a guard, number 20, a 6'5", 190-pound sophomore from the Bronx, New York, Fred Brown. For North Carolina at a guard, number 23, a 6'5", 189-pound freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, Michael Jordan. For Georgetown at a guard, number 21, a 6'3", 170-pound senior from Gastonia, North Carolina, Eric Floyd. And for North Carolina at a guard, number 21, a 6'3", 162-pound senior from the Bronx, New York, Jimmy Black. The head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas is John Thompson. The head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels is Dean Smith.
40 minutes of basketball to determine the national champion. The officials, John DeBrow from the Big Eight, Bobby Dibler of the Western Athletic Conference, and Hank Nichols of the Metro. As Sam Perkins will be going up at center circle against Pat Ewing, and the 1982 NCAA championship is underway. Hancock off to Eric Smith. Back out to Hancock. This is Fred Brown, who played so well in that win over Louisville. Sleepy Floyd, over 2,000 points in his career at Georgetown. The all-time leading scorer has to get it back out to Brown. And North Carolina playing some tough man-to-man defense into Ewing.
Straight man-to-man. Perkins letting Ewing handle it, shooting that fadeaway jumper. Now here comes the full court pressure. It's Perkins back there to help the guards. Ball's gone.
Fred Brown almost came up with a steal, but Ewing, that's got to give that young freshman some confidence to hit that first shot. He had 8 points in the first game and 10 rebounds. Matt Doherty, rebound Ewing, and Ewing's intimidating presence has already been established in this game.
You can see right there, Georgetown going to give Doherty the shot early in the game to show that he can make it.
Georgetown came into this tourney shooting over 63% for the field. Floyd tries to follow his own shot. Jimmy Black saves it in. Here comes Black. He's an extension of the coach on the floor. Off to Doherty, who has not been shooting as well in the Final Four. Worthy, now with Brown, who reached in and took it away from him.
Brown had a great game here Saturday. He has terrific hands as far as quickness goes.
Brown dumps it off to Hancock. And a rebound from Doherty. Jimmy Black hit the deck underneath the basket. No whistle on the play, and here comes Black. Black has been shooting very well in this tournament. Extremely well. 83% to be exact, and that'll be goaltending. But I'll tell you, Ewing is up around that cylinder.
Well, he is, and that was not a wise play on his part. James Worthy will not be intimidated with that type of goaltend because the ball was obviously on the way down. Pat Ewing was right under the basket.
Boy, does that shot show you how high up in the air he got at 7 foot. The freshman from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Beautiful pass from Floyd into Eric Smith.
Eric Floyd, much underrated playmaker. Here's the full court pressure.
Eric Smith, he can play the defense. He was second in assists on the team, and what an assist that was. Doherty with pressure from Smith. Look at Smith. He is really tough defensively. Brings it out to Jordan.
Georgetown in the zone. Now Hancock much more aware of where Worthy is. Now they're man-to-man. Man-to-man defense. Perkins, and there's Ewing having to go out on Perkins.
Georgetown with 4-2 lead. Black tries to tie it up. Ewing with yet another rebound. Up to Eric Smith. Smith to Hancock. He traveled to the ball. Are you surprised, Billy, that Georgetown is in a man this early?
Well, they're showing some different looks. There's John Thompson. They're still in the 2-2-1 with a little diamond full court pressure, but it hadn't bothered North Carolina yet.
Both these teams with great boys. John Thompson has worked with his young club all year to come up with that, and Ewing with another steal. That's 2 turnovers against North Carolina, and Ewing is playing remarkably well.
Both teams are very tight.
Here's Ewing again, and he has 4 points. He was not getting that shot against Louisville on Saturday. Already he's moved in and picked up 4 points. 6-2, Georgetown.
Now with Ewing back, there's a 2-on-1. Let's see if North Carolina tries to take it to him.
Doherty shooting 43% of the tournament, brings it out to Perkins, who had 25 points and 10 rebounds in that win against Houston. Broken up, saved by Perkins, almost stolen that time by Fred Brown. Here's James Worthy, and that'll be another goaltending.
Patrick Ewing is standing right under the basket. John Thompson's trying to work the officials a little bit here, but you can't block those kind of shots against a Worthy or Perkins when you're standing right under the basket, because their ball's going to come down quickly, and there you see it.
Boy, is he getting up there, though. Worthy is challenging him thus far. Georgetown with a 2-point lead, 6-4, 16:45 to go in the first half. Ed Spriggs is checked in. He has a basketball. Rebound, Jordan tries to get it at top of Eric Smith.
Ed Spriggs had an excellent game on Saturday. He comes in, gives them the twin pillars in there with Pat Ewing.
He had 5 points and 7 rebounds in that win that they had Saturday. He is 26 years old, a co-captain of Georgetown. Here's Black. What a matchup this is going to be. Floyd and Black all evening long. Perkins a long ways out for the pivot. Rebound cleared by Eric Smith. Smith out of Potomac, Maryland. Here is Sleepy Floyd. He lost it. It'll be North Carolina's ball.
Pretty good job by Jimmy Black. Right now, both teams have not settled down into what they would like to do. You can see the nervous energy coming out here.
From above, high above here in the Superdome, you see the action. Jimmy Black, he controlled that well.
Well, the reason he wasn't backcourt, the ball hadn't come over yet.
But how good his body control was. That ball was tipped out of bounds by Georgetown. North Carolina will reset it at the 16:05 mark.
New rule in college basketball for this year. Hadn't come into play that much, but both feet and the ball must be over half court in order for you to be in a backcourt situation.
Perkins brings it back out to Jimmy Black. Black out of the Bronx in New York.
Here's the zone. Now you can see it right there. Ewing in the middle. It's a big zone back line, a 2-1-2.
Boy, they pack it in, and with Ewing in there a lot of times is tough. Spriggs right now doing the job for him. Rebound followed by Jordan. He can't get it to drop.
Well, it wasn't blocked by Ewing, but Ewing intimidated and made him put it up there with the left hand.
Brown out of control. He walked to the ball.
Jerry, both teams are very, very tight. John Thompson really hot with the official, but it was a good call. Brown trying to make his reverse.
John, just a moment ago, was windmilling his arms, not happy about the third turnover. His team is already committed in this game at the 15:34 mark. Anthony Jones will now check in. A freshman out of Washington, D.C. Brown, who turned the ball over, will check out. Jones had 4 points and 3 rebounds in that win against Louisville.
When Spriggs comes into the game, it really makes this press tough because he is so big. You have a hard time throwing the ball over, and you still have Ewing at the end. There's a lob.
North Carolina's missed 3 straight from the field. They're 2 of 7. They shot 59% in their win, but they are the only team thus far in this Final Four to shoot better here in the Superdome since the tournament play began.
Great help by Eric Smith defensively.
This is what they're known for, Billy. They just don't let you get that ball inside.
North Carolina not losing their presence right now, but Georgetown playing great defense.
Floyd reaching in, tough shot by Worthy, tipped off almost and in by Spriggs, and that'll go off of Georgetown. Spriggs almost tipped it in.
And the reason that was not a goaltend is because the ball had no chance to go in.
We're going to have a timeout. 14:52 to go in this championship game from the Superdome. A 2-point lead for Georgetown. This is the way Georgetown destroyed the West. Their margin of victory of 16 points over Wyoming, Fresno State, and Oregon State, and then defeating Louisville here on Saturday. On the other hand, North Carolina coming out of the East region. They were the top seed there. Tough win over James Madison, Alabama, Villanova, and defeating Houston. Thus far, Billy, in 5 minutes of play, surprisingly, there's been no fouls in this ball game.
People haven't really taken the ball at anybody. Ewing's doing a good job occupying all that space as usual in the middle.
Buzz Peterson, number 22, a freshman, is checked in. There he is with a basketball. Here is Doherty.
And there's that zone, extremely active. Spriggs coming out to play 25 feet away from the ball. They don't give you any easy shots.
And Ewing will jump out there too. That is really versatility to have your 2 men that quick, that agile to jump out at you. North Carolina showing good patience, trying to tie this ball game up. Nice pass to Perkins, and he is hammered. That'll be a foul on Pat Ewing. High above him that time. Perkins challenged him.
Perkins did challenge him, but he was a little hesitant to take it in for the dunk. It's a beautiful dish off here by Worthy. When he gets Ewing up there to be occupied, Perkins goes right in, gets hit with the body.
Perkins will go to the line. A brilliant game that he had in Saturday's action. 25 points, 10 rebounds. He has been shooting from the free throw line 80% from the tournament play. Look at that. That's the way this whole North Carolina team has been, Billy. They're shooting above their regular season stats.
Well, they're playing very tight right now, and I'm sure Dean Smith recognizes that. You know, Gary, I talked to an awful lot of basketball people out here over the weekend after the game Saturday, and most of them felt, going way back to Hank Ibe and all the rest, that game with Louisville might have been the most tenacious defense by 2 teams ever seen in Final Four action.
It was not artistic, but it was intense. Anthony Jones, oh, he loves to shoot the ball from there. And Georgetown, after those missed free throws, has jumped to an 8-4 lead. Doherty gets it into Jimmy Black. Nice pass, baseline, Jordan, and We're going to have goaltending again. That's 3 goaltending calls on Pat Ewing.
That's a very significant call right there. What are they going to do with Ewing when he goes up there to try to swat these shots away? Now, he has to be a little bit more careful, because if they're going to call it tight, looking like goaltending most of the time, which they have been, that ball had hit off the backboard and was coming down, then he might as well forget the play.
But I'll say one thing for Ewing, he is not timid. Nice pass to Eric Smith. He cuts the middle. And it's 10-6 in favor of the Hoyas. 4 points for Eric Smith. Doherty at 6'8", handling the ball extremely well. Black back to Doherty. Doherty's kind of the final piece in this Carolina puzzle. He fits in so well.
Here we go. Checking Spriggs out, going all over the floor, man to man.
They had the right idea, but Doherty cannot handle the pass. That's 3 turnovers against Carolina. Fred Brown is going to check back in, and Eric Smith will catch a breather. North Carolina has not put in the ball in the hole. They've had 3 goaltending calls. That's how they've scored their points.
They're playing very tentatively so far. I'd say Georgetown's come out of the box with a much more positive-looking game.
13:22 to go, first half. Tough shots. Floyd off balance, still gets it.
There's another example.
Georgetown with a 10-6 lead, I should say 12-6 lead at the 13-11 mark. North Carolina under Dean Smith has never won the championship game. The 4th time they've been in this championship game. Michael Jordan, nice pass to Perkins. Ewing got a piece of it. Perkins, Ewing again, and that'll be his 4th goaltending call.
That's an excellent call. John Thompson really trying to work these officials, because he doesn't want Patrick, who's just a freshman, to get disturbed. Look at John. He can fry an egg on his forehead.
He may have a record before this is over.
Well, here it goes. On the way down, no question about that, but look at how high Ewing is. He's got his head almost even with that rim.
12-8, 4 goaltending calls. Ewing at the other end. Jones tries to follow, but Worthy coming out of there. Off it comes to Doherty. Steal attempt by Brown, and Brown ever present on defense. He led this team in steals, and you can see how alert he is.
He is an amazing, Freddie Brown is amazing in this respect. Although he doesn't have blazing speed, he has great hand quickness and tremendous anticipation for a ball player.
He's that streetwise kid out of the Bronx in New York. Dean Smith, his best record ever coming into this game, 31-2, 15 wins in a row.
Well, they've gone almost 8 minutes without a ball going through the net, as you pointed out, Gary, which is highly unusual. Very tentative play by North Carolina.
That's 4 turnovers. Dean Smith is going to be concerned. Floyd in trouble. Got the ball to Brown. Blocked by Perkins. It's off of North Carolina. Coming back into the ball game. We're going to have a substitution. Well, for the first time, actually, Bill Martin will come in. Ewing will go out. Now, what do you think John Thompson will tell Patrick Ewing?
Well, I think he's just going to calm Patrick down. He has been a tremendous force in this game so far. Matter of fact, he didn't even talk to him as he walked by him. I think he's happy the way Patrick's playing, and his team looks very positive right now. North Carolina in the 2-3 zone on the out of bounds.
4-point lead for the Hoyas, 12-10 to go. This is for the NCAA championship. Fred Brown out to Sleepy Floyd. Floyd in tournament play has been brilliant. He had 22 points against Oregon State. His best, that almost was offensive interference by Bill Martin. Here comes Doherty. He challenged Floyd, didn't he?
First time that North Carolina has taken the ball to the defense, and not by any mere coincidence, Ewing is not in the game.
And that is the first field goal they have scored that wasn't awarded to him by goaltending. Floyd brings it out to Brown.
Sleepy Floyd went right through the double-team trap that time. He's a very wise basketball player.
Here's Floyd. Black lets him get by, and he can't let him get that step. Floyd took advantage of it. Sleepy Floyd gives him a 14-10 lead. Jordan out to Doherty.
Now let's see if Worthy gets into the ball game really starts getting for that ball now that Ewing is not in there.
Ed Spriggs is the big man in the middle at 6'9". Martin's a big, tough performer at 6'7", the freshman. He's also from the Washington, D.C. area. You see Jones at 6'6" outside, so they still have some pretty good size in there.
Excellent team size. There's Worthy inside.
He gets out of some difficulty. Doherty saves it. Again, James Worthy. Almost impossible to block the shot.
That's what I expected, them to go to Worthy when Ewing sits. When he shoots that ball, he shoots it at the zenith of his jump. And you see John Thompson has Ewing and Eric Smith right back, ready to come in again. Just want to give him a little blow. Here's Spriggs. Gets off to Bill Martin. A little heavy on the shot. Spriggs has it again. He's a steadying influence. Sleepy Floyd, and Floyd, who was 3 of 11 Saturday, is shooting the lights out right now. He has 3 field goals. It's 16-12 Georgetown. Spriggs asked to come out. He's a little tired right now. He had the great game Saturday as well. Here's Worthy. There shows his range. Worthy with 8 points. Worthy this year averaging only 15-3, but Billy, the stats really don't show how good he is. It's interesting. John Thompson walking up the court with Freddie Brown, trying to give the instructions and still staying within his bench area. Boy, he's worked hard on maintaining poise, and this club has thus far done that. 9:50 to go first half. Floyd is 3 of 4 from the field in this game. Here he is. He's going to pop another one. Oh, he's on tonight. 4 of 5 for the consensus All-American. Gastonia against Gastonia on the last 2 shots. And getting the better of Jimmy Black so far, who has been outstanding both against Granger and then the other day against Rob Williams. Today, Sleepy Floyd getting the better of him. Sleepy Floyd hit 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and down the stretch was a big factor in that win. But tonight, he's back on track shooting from outside. And again, the good defense by Georgetown. Look at John Thompson in the background standing up and orchestrating all this. There he is. Look at him. John Thompson wants more pressure on the ball. Perkins brings it out. Black, here's Worthy. He's the bread and butter man right now. Sensational turn because he had Jones coming from one side, kind of had to feel the man there and spun in the other direction. There's your time remaining. Billy, do you realize it's Worthy and Floyd going after each other right now as far as the point production? Broken up by Perkins. It'll be Georgetown's ball. One of the things everybody's been talking about in the Dome is the depth perception on the shot. We also noticed that there is a problem sometimes on the lob passes, and that might have been the case right there for Spriggs. We saw that in that Louisville-Georgetown game in particular. Timeout, a 2-point lead for Georgetown.
You're watching.
You're looking at Hank Nichols, one of the 3 officials working this game, and they're not here by happenstance. They earned it. You better believe it. Officials work their way through the tournament. They're judged each and every game. After the first-round games, they're judged as a team. And an added thing about Hank Nichols, he's a teacher at Villanova University. He was one of the referees in the finals of the NIT also. I don't know if any man has ever worked both the NIT championship and the NCAA championship. Not in recent memory, anyway. This is his 2nd time to the championship game. Pat Ewing has come back into the ball game for Georgetown at the 8:43 mark. Do you realize, Billy, we've had only 1 foul in this ball game. We've played 11-plus minutes, and it's been a physical game. Anthony Jones tries to follow. Oh, great hands by Jordan. Jordan just reached in and slotted it away. Here's Jimmy Braddock, who's checked in, a junior. The bench for North Carolina hasn't produced that much this year. The starting 5 has produced 88% of their offense coming into this game tonight. Worthy, goaltending, and that's 5 up. Yeah, that'll bring John Thompson up. Is that 5 goaltends? That's 5. Now, pretty soon, you got to ask a young man of 18, are you going to keep it up? There he is, Pat Ewing, getting it on the way down. I think they've all been very good calls and not very difficult calls to make. 10 of the 18 points have come on goaltending, and we're tied up, 18-all. Here's a double-team trap by North Carolina. Bill Martin, both the freshmen missing shots, Jones and Martin. 8 minutes to go, first half. Braddock will back it out to Worthy. Worthy, who in the early going has really been carrying this ball club offensively. He has 12 points. Floyd, on the other hand, has 8 points for Georgetown. Nice backed out door try by Jordan that time, but Sleepy Floyd showing great defense. You see Ewing go around. He almost came up with a steal. That will go off of Georgetown. Substitution, Ed Spriggs will check back in for the Hoyas. And going out of the ball game is going to be Bill Martin, the freshman who missed the shot a while ago. You know, Worthy isn't shooting too bad in this game. He's 6 of 7. He's, 4 for 4 with Pat Ewing getting a piece of it. And North Carolina has now hit their last 6 shots in a row from the field. Here's Worthy. Somehow he doesn't come up with the ball. Nice job by Ewing. Smith. 2-on-1. Eric Smith, tough shot to hit. A very good move by Eric Smith to pull up short rather than try to take that into the defense.
That gives the Hoyas a 2-point lead, 20-18. 6 points in the game for Eric Smith, the co-captain, along with Ed Spriggs.
Here's your man-to-man, Ewing out there on Perkins. Now Perkins is drawing him away from the basket.
Braddock into Perkins. Perkins out of Latham, New York. Vastly improved.
Nice help that time in there by Eric Smith.
Perkins this year gained about 25.
Oh, that was a double dribble.
And Braddock almost in trouble with Floyd on him.
I think the official felt that the ball was tipped.
And there's a foul on Eric Smith. And that will be his first personal foul, only the second foul. And we have 6:52 to go in this first half.
Now, even though Jimmy Braddock did not do anything on that will show up statistically, I thought he handled the ball club pretty well when he came in there, and that's what Dean Smith was asking, a few minutes to spell Jimmy Black.
Bill Guthridge, his assistant, along with Dean Smith, 21 years. He's been in the quest for an NCAA championship title. And right now, his team down by 2. Worthy with Spriggs playing tough on him. Worthy loves to isolate you. Beautiful pass to Jordan. He changed hands, couldn't get it in a foul.
Well, Patrick Ewing again, although he didn't get a piece of that, he's altered Jordan's shot for the second time tonight. You'll see it right here. Worthy trying to get the backdoor cut with a little screen. Jordan had already screened. He had to use the left hand. Ewing gets a piece. Now Worthy goes down and gets grabbed on the arm.
Substitution, Chris Brust is checking in. Brust number 45. Perkins will check out at the 6:39 mark. Black will trigger. Jimmy Black led the ACC in assists this year. Brings it out to Jordan. Jordan had 18 points in the game on Saturday.
How about Ewing stepping up to help there all the way from under the basket. Now we get a little zone trap.
Doherty tipped up and in by Worthy. I should say slammed in by Worthy. That's a remarkable play. 14 points. He's 7 of 8 from the field.
Worthy is now in the man-to-man situation trying to guard Ewing.
And inside, Brust is guilty of fouling.
Okay, we're going to see that last play by James Worthy. Excellent position to rebound. Here's the block out, not quite there. Worthy grabs it and then just forces it down into the rim.
He must have unbelievably large hands, strong hands to pull that off. John Thompson, 40 years old, a winningest coach in the history of Georgetown. 4 straight NCAA appearances. And the steal by Buzz Peterson. But
and
coming up is
Freddie
Brown. Brown is going to challenge him, and that basket, we'll see if it counts. It's going to be charging.
I think the basket should count. Should count. Yep, good call.
So the charging foul, but the basket being awarded.
Go back to the steal, though. There you had Peterson had an opportunity with an easy steal, and Fred Brown just took it away from him. Now here's the call. Worthy is set, no question about it. Ball released. Great call by the official.
Third team foul now against Georgetown. 6 minutes. Up to Peterson. Peterson picked up by Brown. Spriggs really playing Worthy tight. He's just out as close as he can possibly guard him. Look at the chesting job here by Eric Smith on Doherty. They're right under their chin. Peterson.
Long.
Peterson comes up with it. Brust. Right now he's gone to his bench with Peterson and Brust in there. Trying to give his starters some breathing room. And again, and Worthy with a beautiful arching shot has 16 points in the game.
Sensational defense, too, by Spriggs against him. Went straight up chest to chest.
It's all tied, 22 all. Worthy with 16 of those 22 points. Eric Smith on the move. Tough shot. He pulls it off. And Georgetown bumps it up to a 2-point lead. 8 points in the game for Eric Smith. Peterson on the drive. He was intimidated by Ewing that time. Floyd, he kicked it. They had the ball, but they were fighting amongst themselves.
That was a pretty good move by Peterson, though. He took the ball to Ewing. He had in mind going ahead right at him, and then he had to put that long arching shot up there. Isn't it amazing how Pat Ewing can get down the court? He never seems to be out of position.
Now some substitutions. Worthy's going to check out of the ball game. Sam Perkins, you're looking at him.
What I think we're seeing Dean Smith doing with his bench right now is the other day, Saturday, he went with the first 5 the entire second half. There never was a substitution. He's getting them in there now. Nice back door.
Brust on a fine assist to Jimmy Black. So Brust comes in. First 2 points in the ball game now for Jimmy Black. And other than Worthy, the other 4 starters have scored 2 points each. So it's been Worthy carrying them offensively. 24 all. Floyd against Jordan. Perkins with a rebound. That's one of the few that Sleepy Floyd hasn't gotten to go through.
That's a very difficult shot going down in the baseline.
Now with a chance to take the lead is North Carolina.
Look at Ewing coming out from the basket, 30 feet away.
Eric Smith staying with Peterson. Here is Jordan. Reach around by Floyd. Partially blocked in time by Ewing. Rust has it. He's fouled, and Rust has done a very good job for North Carolina.
Pat Ewing a little bit upset there, getting a little frustrated. Now, anytime Ewing gets frustrated, John Thompson covers. Here we see it inside. Brush gets the ball. Ewing comes down. He did get a little piece of the arm. It might have been a brush, but he did get a piece. Should be 2 shots.
That's his second foul. A 2-shot foul coming up. Right now, a break in the action. 4:04 to go in this first half. And it's all tied up. 24 all. Have an added advantage. They can watch those beautiful TV screens about 80 feet above the playing floor. We noticed on Saturday and also tonight that they react to those replays. Some of the plays that Worthy made and some that we're seeing here today. At the line will be Brust, and he hasn't been at the free throw line very much this year.
Well, he really hasn't. He's been there 20 times, made 9 for only 45%. This young fella came to college with quite a reputation, but he came already injured, and he never was able to quite get himself into the playing condition that was expected.
Well, he made a big assist a while ago, but he doesn't get the free throw. It's still 24 all. And North Carolina, who's been brilliant from the line, is 0 for 3 in this game thus far.
There's that stat right up there.
Rust from Avalon, New York. Wait a minute. A basket will count, and coming in will be Worthy. Rust will check out. So James Worthy back in.
Now you can imagine that Dean Smith will keep this starting 5 in there up till halftime and let them take their break. A 2-2-1 full court press.
The Tar Heels with a 1-point lead, less than 4 minutes to go in this first half. Gene Smith has checked in now.
North Carolina in the zone. Look for Sleepy Floyd trying to get open.
This is Smith, number 22, an excellent defensive player. You see the time remaining, the lower right-hand portion of the screen.
Now what North Carolina will do now, they'll shade away from Gene Smith and let him put up a shot.
Ewing, that's the way he started the ball game. Right there at that spot, and that gives the Hoyas a 1-point lead.
Nice release by Pat Ewing.
Ewing with 6 points. He's had 5 goaltendings at the other end. Here is Worthy against Ewing. Rebound, Jordan. He changed hands and hit it.
Left hand. Very underrated rebounder, and all year long, people aren't aware of his tremendous leaping ability, and from the guard position at 6'5", he's a dangerous rebounder.
Jordan was an outstanding baseball player in high school. He has 5 rebounds in this game. Ewing has to kick it out this time.
Smart play by Ewing, not to occupy that ball.
Carolina with a 1-point lead, less than 3 minutes. That shot was partially blocked. Hancock put it up. Here comes Jimmy Black. Floyd is back. Worthy. He was off balance. And Perkins has it for North Carolina. Worthy getting up slowly. Now he has the ball. He's got it again. Worthy, the consensus All-American, has 18 points in the game. His career tourney record is 21.
Here's John Thompson again talking to his club. North Carolina surprises me. They go back to man-to-man. No, they're trapping out of it.
And we have a foul. It's going to go on Michael Jordan as they trapped in the backcourt, stopping the clock with 2:22. Fred Brown will come in. Ed Spriggs will come in. Hancock and Gene Smith will check out.
There's Dean Smith trying to ask for a walk-in violation. Now here you go. Worthy went up so high because he knew Ewing was coming over. Maybe a little higher than be comfortable. Here comes Jordan, as I said, a very dangerous offensive rebounder. Goes in, changes to the left hand, and puts it up.
That was only the second team foul against North Carolina, and just a little over 2 minutes left in this first half. Floyd, oh, beautiful.
He was fouled on the shot and still had the concentration and the follow-through to put it in.
A 1-point lead now for North Carolina. Floyd with 10 points, and that's a foul on Eric Smith. Trying to reach around Jimmy Black. That's his second, and 16 fouls. They're 1 away from a shooting situation. And so Carolina will inbounds it with 2:04 in this first half. Dean Smith says, you know, I've never won this championship game, but there's only been 2 coaches in history that's been to the Final Four 7 times or more. That's John Wooden himself. Out to Black. Now they might be a little content, Billy, to let some time elapse.
Well, they don't want to go right into the teeth of that zone defense with Ewing in the middle, but they've got it back in there pretty good right now.
Perkins against Ewing, intimidated a little bit, and down with the rebound comes Sleepy Floyd. At 6'3", only weighs 170, but he can jump. Nice play, rebound Ewing, and he's fouled.
Good foul by Jordan. It was an easy play for Ewing. Sleepy Floyd keeping a lot of pressure on the defense. When he gets the ball, he not only does the great jump shot, but as we pointed out at the top of the show, he can penetrate to the baseline as well.
Pat Ewing this year shooting 61% from the free throw line in the regular season. Man who's learned to control that physical ability. A substitution, Buzz Peterson, comes in. Jordan will check out. Thus far in this game, as you look at John Thompson and Eric Smith, Ewing has 6 points, 4 rebounds, 5 goaltends, and 1 block shot. He's covered all bases.
Well, Patrick, a 61% free throw shooter, been to the line 164 times this year.
He has good form. We were watching earlier. Now watch him. So, as you call it, the good rotation on the ball.
An excellent follow-through for a big man. Many times a guy of this size has trouble with his foul shooting because his hands are so huge he can never get a nice feel of the ball from a standpoint of his fingertip control. Ewing does have that control and a beautiful follow-through.
Yeah, it's like a 6-foot guard up there. That's the first free throw Georgetown has had the opportunity to shoot in this game. And Ewing hits both of them. Pat Ewing, that shows you the athletic ability of this big guy to stand up at the line like that. 30-29, the Hoyas by 1. 1.5 to go, first half. To Worthy. Worthy catches that ball up in the air, and it's all over. You can't get it away from him.
Well, we talked about Worthy and Rodney McCray being the 2 best catchers of the ball I've seen in person this year. Now North Carolina spreading out a little bit. And right away, John Thompson's club said, if they're going to spread it, we're going to go back.
They have backed in there with Spriggs and Ewing really making it tough to penetrate inside.
Doherty's looking for the shot.
Bring it back out. You see the time. There it was, a minute to go.
I think we'll see North Carolina go for 1 now. And then I'm talking about take the last shot.
One thing about Georgetown, Billy, they come out and just kind of chest you out, don't they, when you pick up the ball. There's a reach in by Floyd.
Big turnover.
Eric Smith off the Sleepy
Ewing's
Floyd.
got the lob.
There it is. You can see that one coming.
That again shows you Ewing never stops running on the court. He gets up and down the court so well.
32-29, the Hoyas of the lead. You see the time now, 26 seconds.
That was a big turnover by Doherty.
Here is Peterson. Look at the defense. The Hoyas jumping around, movement to go with that big size, and they can't get that ball inside right now. Here's the man that's been doing most of the damage. And a foul. Sleepy Floyd. That's been really their bread and butter is right over the middle.
And here's Sleepy Floyd. Now, there are not many men in the country that can do what Pat Ewing did there. He came from 80 feet down the court to be in position to be on that fast break because he was playing right under the basket defensively. He never stops running, and that's what makes it so tough to keep up with him.
You know what's interesting about that? Ewing may be their fastest man in some way, and they say Worthy is for North Carolina. You don't expect big men like that to cover the distance.
Black
now
going out.
comes in. Going out will be Black with 8 seconds. Sam Perkins 0 for 2 at the free throw line with 2 points.
Now there's a lot of time on this clock. Georgetown does not have to rush coming down the court if these shots go in or if they miss.
Now 1-1. So at the other end, Ewing was able to connect on both. Now Perkins has the same opportunity, and he can cut it to 1. Perkins, who this summer worked on a construction job, he said he wanted to get tougher, stronger, and he's done that.
Okay, full court pressure now by North Carolina, trying to occupy as much time bringing the ball up the court.
They're doing that, but we're going to have a foul on Braddock.
Now, think of this, what happened right there. See, North Carolina is not in the 1-and-1. They could let Sleepy Floyd bring the ball up the court and then foul him. Don't let him get in a position to shoot. They'll do it again.
That's only 14 fouls, so they can do it again.
Now, what they'll do is try to go ahead and foul as soon as the guy touched it. Too late.
Spriggs wide open. They let him have it, and that's going to end our first half. It's a one-point ball game. Pat Ewing, a last-minute reminder to the official. This game is shaping up just about the way we figured, right down to the wire. As the Hoyas, who have won 10 in a row with a 1.32-31 halftime lead, CBS Sports coverage of the 1982 NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this word from your local station.